The night began with a hush that felt unnatural, as if the stadium itself sensed something sacred was unfolding. No one knew exactly what it was yet, only that time seemed to slow the moment Yoshinobu Yamamoto took the mound. From the very first pitch, there was a strange tension in the air. Not the nervous kind, the reverent kind, the kind that whispers, "Watch closely, you may never see this again." Yamamoto didn't walk to the mound like a rookie adjusting to a new league. He walked like a man who had already decided the outcome. Pitch 1 cut the silence. Pitch 2 sharpened it. And suddenly, the Orioles were no longer facing just another starter, they were staring into something historic. Inning after inning, bat after bat, the scoreboard refused to change. Zeros stacked up like monuments. Soft grounders, late swings, broken timing everywhere. Baltimore hitters looked frustrated, then confused, then quietly desperate. By the third inning, fans stopped cheering loudly. They leaned forward instead. Phones lowered. Conversations died mid-sentence. Something was happening. Yamamoto's fastball wasn't just fast, it was commanding. His splitter disappeared like it was falling off a table. His curve felt unfair, bending reality just enough to leave hitters frozen. Every pitch told the same story: you are not winning tonight. By the fifth inning, the whispers turned into murmurs. By the sixth, into belief. By the seventh, into fear, not of losing, but of witnessing greatness that would end too soon. The Orioles' dugout stayed quiet. Too quiet. Because they knew. Everyone knew. This wasn't just dominance. This was precision bordering on art. 8 innings passed, and the impossible still stood untouched. No hits. No cracks. No mercy. Every out felt heavier than the last, as if history itself was leaning on Yamamoto's shoulders, daring him to blink. Then came the 8th inning. Still clean. Still perfect. The crowd buzzed with disbelief. Broadcasters struggled to find words. Stat sheets became meaningless. This was no longer about numbers. It was about time. When Yamamoto returned for the 9th, the tension was unbearable. 1 more out. 2 more outs. Just inches away from immortality. And then, reality struck. A ball found grass. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just enough. The no-hitter ended at 8.2 innings, so close it hurt to breathe. For a moment, the stadium exhaled in shock. Applause erupted, not out of joy, but respect. Because what they had just seen demanded it. Yamamoto stood there, calm, composed, almost serene. As if he knew something no one else did. As if the story wasn't finished. Because baseball has a cruel sense of timing. And on this night, the 2131st anniversary, a date soaked in symbolism, the Orioles decided history would not belong to just one man. The momentum shifted quietly at first. A walk. A sharp single. Suddenly, the impossible felt possible. The Orioles' dugout came alive. Helmets slammed. Eyes widened. Hope returned like a heartbeat restarting. The crowd sensed it immediately. This was no longer a pitching masterpiece. This was a battle. Pitch by pitch, Baltimore chipped away. The calm was gone. The night cracked open. And then, the hit. The one that changed everything. The stadium exploded. Noise poured down like thunder. Players poured out of the dugout like belief had finally been set free. An epic comeback was no longer a dream. It was happening in real time. What made it unforgettable wasn't just the runs. It was the contrast. One man nearly touching history, and one team refusing to let the night end quietly. Baseball, at its core, is cruel and beautiful for this exact reason. Yamamoto's brilliance didn't vanish. It lingered. It haunted the comeback, making it even more powerful. Because the Orioles didn't win against an average night. They won against greatness. And that's what made the moment eternal. As the final out was recorded, emotions collided. Celebration, respect, shock, awe, 2 stories sharing one night. One of near perfection, and one of unbreakable resilience. Yamamoto walked off the field not defeated, but baptized by Major League Baseball's harsh truth: dominance guarantees nothing. The Orioles stood victorious, not because history favored them, but because they refused to stop believing. And that's why this game will be remembered. Not for the no-hitter that almost was, but for the reminder that in baseball, and in life, the story isn't over until the last heartbeat fades and the final pitch is thrown. Baseball fire.